Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday and ELA Day. This is Mrs. Rodwell here, and I'm going to be helping you through this week's ELA activities. So, you are on the correct page. If you see this page, this is how you accessed this recording. So, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to read aloud the text Team Moon. Just the first time read, I'm going to be doing a close read. So, the first time I read it, I'm just going to read it all the way through for you, and we're going to get the gist. Then the second time, we're going to go back and highlight or annotate for specific things. I'm going to model one example of a blue annotation and one example of a yellow, and then you're going to actually finish annotating and submit it to your teacher. But let's just start getting this in the back of our head and setting a purpose for reading. So just know that as I'm reading, you want to be thinking of words and phrases that reveal what the author believes about the Apollo 11 mission. When we go back the second time, that's what we'll be highlighting in blue. Remember, when you hear the author believes, you want to think, what is the author's point of view? If you look at this anchor chart here, this is why it's included. Another way to think of the author's point of view is the author's perspective, opinion, or viewpoint. In this case, about the Apollo 11 mission. So those words and phrases will be highlighted in blue. In yellow, we'll be highlighting specific challenges faced by team members across phases of the Apollo 11 mission. So I wanted to show you that's coming so that as we read, you can think about those things in the back of your head. Now, in order to access this text, it's the next page in Canvas. It looks like this. You're going to click on the copy, just like this, and you're going to make a copy. You've done this before for the week before spring break for JFK's speech. So here is the text I'm going to read aloud. Now, before you ever, start reading a text, we always want to look at the title and preview the text. So I know this is an excerpt from Team Moon by Catherine Thimmesh. So she's the author. We are thinking about her point of view. Now, when I see excerpt, I know this comes from a longer piece of writing. This is actually a book. So I know that Team Moon is just a section of this longer book. So I'm going to preview my subheadings. So I see the first one's called Moving Forward. Just scroll down. Next one's called And Onward. I see And Upward. And then we end with 13 paragraphs. This is about a 3-page passage. Now, it's always important, too, to look at the source at the bottom. So like I said, this is an excerpt from a longer book. The book is called How 400,000 People Landed Apollo 11 on the Moon. Now, I think that's extremely important because that tells us, wow, 400,000 people, that's a lot of people that were helping and included in this mission. I also see that it was written in 2006, so as a little context and background knowledge. So now that we've previewed the text, I'm going to do the read aloud. Remember, we are looking for words and phrases that reveal the author's point of view or beliefs, and then challenges as well. Here we go. Excerpt from Team Moon by Catherine Thimmesh. Moving forward, the final picture was altogether different from the dream. Most thought they'd be going straight to the moon with one spacecraft, land and come straight back. Instead, as the plan evolved, it called for 2 very different craft, a command and service module for flight and a lunar module, LM, to land on the surface. No one ever imagined landing on the moon in a seatless, gold-foiled encased, 4-legged, spidery-ish thingamajig nicknamed the LEM. After all, no one knew what a lunar module was ever supposed to look like, and so form followed function, never mind if it looked like a bug. I can't say that I'm aware of any program where more people understood what the schedule was, how important it was, and worked so hard to make it happen. We had a great team. We're called Joe Gavin, Vice President of the Grumman Aerospace Corporation, contractor for the lunar module. That team at Grumman was 7,500 workers strong. They designed, developed, and built the lunar module, christened Eagle for Apollo 11 from the ground up. Reliability was insisted upon. They had a motto. There was no such thing as a random failure, and failures were eliminated one by one because it was their baby, their handiwork, 8 years of their lives that very soon would settle down, fingers crossed, on that giant glowing ball in the inky black soup of space. And onward. Space, it's dangerous out there. micrometeoroids, radiation, airlessness, and coming home would be no picnic either. The compact car-sized space capsule would be greeted and surrounded by searing white-hot flames as it slammed madly back down to Earth. In designing the command module, the one thing we had to be sure of was that we could keep the crew alive. That was a big item, said Max Fajet, NASA chief engineer and principal designer of the command module. Keeping the crew alive under such extreme conditions was indeed a big item. Only the command module, Columbia, would make the complete journey. It would serve as crew living quarters and as a spacecraft. Columbia alone. But the wizards at North American Rockwell, NASA's prime contractor for the command module, were up to the challenge. 14,000 folks there, plus a skilled hodgepodge of 8,000 other companies, toiled to ensure that millions of components on the command module were in top-notch order. Columbia was off to confront danger. Its builders would need to rely on their 8 years of effort to give them confidence for a successful outcome. But it would be 500 miles before the truth of the matter would be told. Could their command module keep the crew alive? And upward. Launch operations at Kennedy Space Center, or KSC, in Florida was like its own little town, whopping 17,000 engineers, technicians, mechanics, contractors, and managers were needed to pull together the Apollo 11 launch. Needed to check the spacecraft, test it, stack the 3 rocket stages in the Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, roll it out, recheck it, fuel it, and ready it for liftoff. One of the most critical preparations for launch was the orchestration and performance of the crucial CDDT. The Countdown Demonstration Test, or CDDT, gives us confidence that we're going to get there in time, and everything's going to percolate perfectly together, explained Ernie Reyes, three-way operations branch for Apollo 11. It's regrettable and about 500 others would work the consoles from the firing room of the Launch Control Center, or LCC, the nucleus of launch operations. They would run the controls that would catapult Apollo 11 moonward bound. 5,000 others would directly support them from the actual liftoff. It was a long, long march to that day, and the little town of KSC became a second home to quite a few folks. Many lunch, dinners, anniversaries, birthdays were forsaken in pursuit of ready to launch. On July 16, 1969, they were indeed ready. And at 9:32 a.m., whoosh. So overall, as I just read that, I'm just getting the gist that, wow, there was a lot of hard work and intelligence of thousands of people working on all components here. I get a huge indication that a lot of preparation had to go in, and like it said, a lot of hard work. So that was the first read. Now, remember, we are going back to our annotations. So step 1, you open it, reread. Now, I'm going to show you one example of a blue annotation and one example of a yellow annotation. Then it's going to be your turn to finish annotating and submit it to your teacher. So, to start, I'm looking for words and phrases that reveal what the author believes about the Apollo 11 mission. So, I'm looking for what Catherine Thimish believes. Now, like I said, I know it was a lot of hard work and preparation. I also know, I remember seeing some really interesting wording in paragraph 4, right here. The compact car-sized space capsule would be greeted and surrounded by searing white-hot flames as it slammed madly back down to Earth. Now, I'm going to highlight that in blue because I thought the author did a really great job here of indicating to the reader how dangerous she really thinks this mission is. Not only is a ton of hard work and intelligence needed, it's extremely dangerous. So that's what she believes. Searing white-hot flames. That's a very detailed indication that these flames are dangerous and they're going to be slamming back into Earth. So I believe That's a great example of what she believes. So there's my blue annotation. Now in yellow, remember, you're looking for challenges faced by team members. Okay? So I feel like it truly talks about some challenges in the second part of the text. So I'm going to go to the third page and reread a couple sections. Now, I feel that the countdown demonstration test, or CDDT, was one of their challenges because when it introduces that test, it says one of the most critical preparations. Now, to me, in this case, a preparation is a challenge because so much was involved and there had to be so many different critical preparations in order to get this working. So, I'm going to highlight the second part of this paragraph in yellow. If you've ever been in a play or a drama, or let's say a band performance, a chorus performance, you guys know that a dress rehearsal is a ton of work. It's very challenging getting ready for a big launch like this. So I thought that quote really showed Ernie Reyes his challenges and the fact that there was so much involved in the critical preparation. So the whole CDDT test, that was a good quote to represent that in yellow. So remember, in blue, you're looking for words and phrases that reveal what the author believes. Then specific challenges faced by team members are in yellow. So that is why in yellow I have what Ernie Reyes faced in his critical preparation. And then in blue, up here, I had this shows that the author believes how dangerous this really is. And she said that right there too. So your job is to reread the text and go back and annotate in blue and yellow where you feel it truly shows what the author believes and then specific challenges. Now, make sure you guys share your document in Canvas. I've included a little image here because the week before spring break, some teachers were saying that we had issues being able to actually view your Google Docs. So please make sure you click on this link over here and you upload the copy that you worked on and annotated so the teachers can really see your thought process there. Okay, so I hope that helps. You're then going to take those annotations and complete a note catcher. It's 3 questions on the author's point of view, the author's purpose, and then if you're going to be including some quotes that prove that. Now, by watching this video, listening, interacting, and completing your annotations, that note catcher should be very straightforward. And then you'll finish this week's activities with an exit ticket that's multiple choice and a reflection. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoy reading about this. And good luck. We will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication towards your learning.